crotch shot.
You said that last time.
No, that you're still sitting with your legs spread open.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
Why does that matter? That's how people sit. All right, 3.
No, wait.
4, 5.
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Live It Right podcast, episode 18. And today we're talking about a lesson we've learned the last, I'll say 6+ months of living a little bit in flux on what our future housing situations was going to be. From packing our house in Savannah over the last few months to transitioning to living in a friend's house for 2 weeks to being on the road with family for about 10 days to now being in an Airbnb for the last 5 weeks, and we've got another week to go here. So we've had stuff in storage for the last 2 months, living with like probably less than 5% of our actual belongings, living in a great but really small and tight Airbnb. And I think it's just kind of taught us that, everyone knows this, but you don't need a lot of stuff to be productive, enjoy your life to the fullest.
I think let's reel it, go back a little bit. Like 6 months ago, whenever I started like packing the house in Savannah, I actually started listening to like a minimalist podcast, trying to learn like how the minds of like true minimalists work. And like, while I don't think we will ever be true minimalists just because our lifestyles require certain things, like I will never have a minimalist kitchen, but I can pare down certain things.
We like outdoor activities too. That require stuff. So.
But it's just like simply living with less.
Yeah.
And like what we have learned in this transitional phase of like, we have been forced to live in less space, whether it's been with the kind people we've lived with our parents, or in this space, we have been forced to not have what we're used to having at our fingertips. And as much as like, honestly, I didn't talk about it because there was no need to, but like it gave me actual like pretty bad anxiety because I was like, how am I going to function? I'm so used to my routines of using X, Y, and Z and
all the toys in the kitchen to prep and make stuff.
Exactly. Because the thing is like, I've been making delicious meals. Are they simpler?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Do I not have all my tools? No, but like they're still delicious. There are certain things that I am limited to, and that's fine. But we have definitely not missed out on good food since we've left. So
what are I know what we have, but like what are the staple kitchen tools you think?
I brought?
Yeah, because you did do a storage unit run and grabbed a couple things.
One.
What are like the top 5 things you
I'm very
had
picky.
to have?
Yeah, I'm very picky. Most Airbnbs, especially with how much we cook, I brought in 2 cast iron skillets and 2 pots, just because 1, I'm very particular about the materials that I cook in, and 2,
true.
I would probably use the Airbnb stuff to death, just because most people don't cook as much.
Yeah, Airbnb, you're not making
so
90% of your meals.
Cookware, my knives, a few random tools like my measuring cups and measuring spoons, just because I like mine. I'm just used to them. So I did bring my KitchenAid over, just in a hand mixer, which an Airbnb is not going to have a hand mixer, which I've used that a ton, more than the mixer itself. But those are probably, I would say, I'm trying to think of what I have in there, but those are probably the most important things that just either an Airbnb would not normally have, or 2, like I said.
And the staples, I would say, just from, I help a little bit in the kitchen, but also observing you is the high quality pans, high quality pots,
Makes a difference.
and the knives, like you have that, like you can make, 75% of the stuff you're probably going to make, unless it's a special occasion, like that's probably going to get you.
Like, I went and got the mixer to make homemade pasta. Was that necessary? No, but we had guests over, and I wanted to treat them to homemade pasta. But that could have stayed in storage. Yeah, I mean, those are probably the most important things. But like we've not missed out on any type of food.
We're eating, aside from the one night you entertain, we're eating very simply, but it's still incredibly good stuff. Like, it totally hammers home the point of if you're not a super healthy eater and it sounds intimidating to start eating healthy, it really is just, the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, like that really, that's kind of how we're eating right now 90% of the time is keeping it incredibly simple.
Yeah, and I will throw myself under the bus.
And it's great.
I will throw myself under the bus here. I have blamed the crutch of my business of not doing certain things that you will start seeing in my business moving forward on not having X, not having Y, not having Z. Like, I didn't have the perfect setup, the perfect lighting, the most aesthetic kitchen. I have been very grateful for the homes we have lived in. They have not been extremely functional for what I want to do. No complaints there. But I always made excuses for that. And here, I'm simply not filming because it's very packed to the brim in there. And like we mentioned in past episodes, we're kind of waiting until we get into our space so that everything is more consistent. But I have been cooking good, healthy, delicious meals that we have not missed out on anything. And it's opened my eyes to truly and I know
you don't need 20 ingredient recipes.
No, you don't need the perfect setup. You don't need the perfect kitchen. You don't need, good quality over quantity. And that, I will move that into outside of the kitchen, into the clothing. And I will probably speak a little bit more to this. You said earlier today when we were talking, it's just, we're served ads constantly on things we don't have, things we need, what you are missing in order to have this more fulfilling life. That is what it's difficult, because we're constantly being served information of the things that we're missing and that we need in order to get from point A to point B, or to have a better life or a more fulfilling life. And when it comes to quality over quantity, it's especially one big thing that I'm going to be working on as we move into the new house is, like John said, we have maybe 5% of our clothes. As a woman, it is a hard thing sometimes to block out the noise of what we constantly are being told that we need in our closet. You need the next best
thing. Yeah, you don't have enough. And it's a very American thing, too, to just think, if I get that, you'll get that dopamine hit and you'll feel good about it for, the 10 minutes, the first time you wear it, whatever. And then it's like, you forget all about it and you need the next thing. And it's...
I understand if you're a fashion influencer, that's one thing, but we're not. And I've realized, I'm excited. I got rid of 15 bags of clothes when we left Savannah. And I'm excited, honestly. I told him when we come out of storage, every piece of clothing that I pull out, I'm going to question.
I'm holding her to this, too.
I know, he is. So we're going to see how much we can pare down. I'm not going to get into the whole capsule wardrobe thing today, but just understanding, for someone who does, I like looking nice. I like feeling good in my clothes, but that doesn't mean you need a brand new wardrobe every season or a filled to the brim closet. Yeah. And it's just we've been forced to live with less, but I think that in that time, we have lived a more fulfilling life and a more joyful life than ever by realizing we don't need much when it comes to any piece of life.
Yeah.
We need less than we had before, kind of thing.
Oh, totally. And I probably have 4 pairs of, maybe 5 pairs of gym shorts, 5 gym shirts, and I typically go through 2 outfits a day, so I'm wearing the same stuff over and over again. And and I've been doing that for a while now, and you don't even think twice about it. It's like, but it's funny. I think when you have the ability to stuff a closet, or you are like, oh yeah, I made a little bit more money this month. Let me go buy some, no offense, stupid shit that I don't need, and just throw it in the closet. Let me buy a pair of shoes I don't need, and it's really been nice to sort of have that restriction of like, one, we don't have space in our Airbnb we're staying in. Two, we're in this transition period, so why would we be buying stuff? It's nice to have that roadblock of can't do it, and I think it's been a big enough sample size to the point where I really think it's going to continue to affect us going forward, and we'll
100%.
think like this going forward to the point where we'll be like, we'll second guess purchases or wants to buy things, stuff like that. So.
And I will tell you, like, in this period, like, one thing that has been wonderful is, as y'all know, we're having a house built. And in this process, it's like the last piece that I owe our contractor is the renderings of what I want the inside of our closets to look like. And I've just been thinking about, like, what we're going to keep, what we need, and the thing is like, we are downsizing. Our home is downsizing from where we were previously. But I'm actually grateful. I think there's just the perfect amount of closet space to house what we need, but there's not excessive space in this home at all. So
there's no attic, there's no basement, there's no.
I mean, the shed will literally be for essentials.
Yeah.
So it's just been interesting, especially with my personality of I love to entertain. Like, if I owned an entire closet full of entertaining items, I'd be happy. But like, understanding. And something I've talked about on my social media is like, it's not about what's on the table. It's honestly not even, as much as I hate to even say this, about the food all the time. It is about where you are, who you're with, the memories you're making, and that doesn't require things.
What are the, doesn't require things, but what are the things you think have been essential for you to, we're saying all these things that we don't need X, Y, and Z, but what are the things you do need?
Are you asking me in general?
What are the things you think the
kitchen?
past few weeks you think you've been just really glad you've had? Not necessarily kitchen, but just general. Could be an article of clothing, could be something in the kitchen, could be your bike, could be your running shoes, whatever.
Well, a gym membership, which is nice. That's not a thing, but like a core collection of athleisure. I mean, we've already talked about that. That's a non-negotiable for us. And things that we feel good in and are comfortable and functional. I already talked about the kitchen items. I do miss some of the things, just our daily china. It just holds a lot of memories for me.
This is the essentials, not what do you want.
I know, you're right. Well, just the basics to get through.
Yeah.
I do miss our basics, like the things that are ours and not living in other people's homes.
True.
That's what I mean. Like, I miss our everyday espresso cups. Like, that's just like our things. But anyways,
I actually we've been reusing little jam jars. I actually like those better. Those are cute. Yeah.
They are cute. I will say my skincare, because that is something that, like, as a female,
that's a non-negotiable for you.
That is a non-negotiable. When I feel good in my own skin, and when my skin is healthy and glowy, that exudes from the inside out. So my skincare is a non-negotiable. That is not something that I will minimize, because I only have what I literally use. God, let me think here.
That's good.
Our evening routine stuff: sleep mask, mouth tape, Kindle.
Yeah, that's easy. Kindle.
Those little
Kindle's a good one.
Yeah, those things that we carry around and use every single day. I'm not going to get into food stuff, but like our supplements, like we keeping our routine going of things that help us feel good from the inside out.
Yeah.
Those are non-negotiables. But the funny thing is, you say that, and like, I have not thought about clothing other than like what I need to like function. There's not like a piece of, I need my running shoes. I need my bike shoes. I need a helmet. But like outside of that, I've been wearing the same 2 pairs of shoes really. And to be honest with you, there have been a few times I haven't voiced this yet, but like there have been a few pieces of even like the small bit of clothing that we do have that I'm like, you know what? I really don't feel good in this. I don't really like this. I'm going to get rid of it.
Cool.
So like, what about you? I feel like those are kind of the non-negotiables.
Let me see. I mean, I would say for me, just based on where we are, having a bike, I have 2 bikes with me, actually, a road and a gravel bike. But that kind of speaks to a bigger thing of just the few things you need to enjoy the outdoors the way we like to, which is biking, hiking, well, trail running, so trail running shoes, general athletic wear, you got that, a towel, because I like to jump in the creek, just those basics to allow me and us to do our fun outdoor activities. Like that's what really gets me going. I mean, obviously you need a laptop to get some work done, but that goes without saying.
Another one I just thought about, a non-negotiable for me, my own cleaning supplies.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just very, if you follow me, I'm very big on like the ingredient list of my cleaning products. So having my cleaning products in the rental and so it's my skincare and my cleaning stuff. Like that makes me feel very at home and that I have control over taking care of us.
Yeah, kind of the healthy aspect. I mean, that kind of speaks to your skincare too. Just the
right. I mean, the laundry detergent. Like I'm not using their stuff. Like that kind of thing.
It is funny because I mean, I don't know what detergent we use, laundry detergent we use. I know it's a better brand, but it's funny you like are used to your clothes, bedding, everything being washed in this less fragrancy, I guess I'll call it, less shitty,
good job,
chemically cleaner thing.
He actually notices it now. He's like, this isn't our laundry detergent.
Yeah, so you stay. I mean, we've now washed the bed sheets plenty of times, but the first night you use a towel or something, you just smell that like fakey, fragrant. Like it's not I guess if you're so used to it, that does fragrance. Maybe smell good to you, but it is like, if you're not used to it.
Gives you a headache.
Yeah, it gives you a headache. It's kind of like you take out like crappy processed sugary snacks or something.
Yeah.
And you take it out for long enough, then you go back to, you're like, oh my God, how did I ever eat that? So,
John, how did I forget?
What?
The espresso machine.
Oh, that's probably your number one, yeah.
That is literally, I told him the other day, I said, what's going to be the first thing you bring in the house? And he was like, I'll tell you what, he actually dude wipes. And I was like, really?
That's a necessity, actually.
The first thing I'm going to walk into that house with is my espresso machine to put it
They're
on the counter.
They're fragrance-free dude wipes, though, for the record.
But yeah, no, I'm going to take the espresso machine in. How did I not? That was not the first thing that came out of my mouth. That thing's strapped in my car with a seatbelt when I travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, it's living with less, I think, has opened our eyes more to the fact that we've not missed out on anything in life by having access to 5% or 10% of our things.
Yeah, it's more of so much stuff is just a distraction.
100%. So,
anyway, it's a distraction, and then it, depending on what the thing is, requires upkeep. It's more of a distraction, and it's a storage space. Owning a shit ton of stuff takes time and takes time away from, maybe that's building a business, enjoying time with each other,
and I've made money by selling stuff. Yeah. So
there you go.
We're going to continue that trend.
I'm going to hold her accountable too.
I know. Well, and we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much we actually get rid of. I mean, in comparison to most, we don't have as much stuff as most people do. We've purged over the years, but certain things, I will not have a minimalist kitchen. But I am going to pare down on some things. He's not going to have a minimalist supply of fitness stuff because that is his job, to film with these things and these items. But
I don't have like a rope. I don't have like a my house, my home gym setup is a minimal home gym setup.
But it's more than most people have in their house, is what my point was.
True.
Like mine is not a minimalist kitchen, but it's more than most people would have. But it is probably minimalist in comparison to people that do what I do. So we are going to take this mindset.
There's levels to minimalism.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to walk into our house and there's like nothing on the floor, nothing on the counters, nothing like on the walls. Like it's not, we're not doing that. But it is, I'm anxious to see how, when we open that storage unit next week and start moving things in, how much of that stuff actually ends up staying in the storage unit until we sell it. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. It's exciting. And honestly, it feels really good to pare down and just really focus on the things that you truly love and that do provide value and allow you to live life the way you want to live it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Yeah. And we'll wrap it up. But if you guys have any, I mean, honestly, if anyone has any, if you made a move or you took you started minimizing your own life and you have some tips, please feel free to
Pass them
shoot them our
along.
way. You know, we're living a minimalist life right now, but we do have a shit ton of stuff in a storage unit. So there's
We'll see how this mindset
Yeah, we're about
goes.
to keep it going, and any tips are totally welcome and appreciated.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. As always, hit the follow button. We would love and appreciate when you share with others the podcast. And we'll be back with episode, I guess, 19, the day before we close.
Next week.
Next week, we will we'll be back to before the big move happens. And then we've got a lot of fun content planned down the road. We're just hanging on until we get into the new space. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya. I wonder if that weed eater will be picked up on the